goal! Side of goal! Oh, what a goal!
Get in, you beaut! I'm fucking delighted. Yes! Go on, Mo Salah, you fucking beaut, you. I was going fucking mad when he missed the fucking force, and I was going, you bollocks! He gets it. Go on the pool. Fucking delighted. But here, how about our game? I knew fucking well it wasn't going to be an easy game, and the whole start and all that fucking shit. And I was sort of screaming at the TV, just fucking play the game and ref the fucking thing yourself. Thank fuck he didn't, because VAR was on our fucking side today, big time. I'm fucking buzzing. It started off today. I won my game. Me and Zach, we won our game today. Then Arsenal, then Liverpool, and also for the people who watched me fucking thing there the other day, the reaction video, the smell of shite that was in here was unbelievable. But I even found that today, and I cleaned it all out. The place is spick and span. We're fucking smelling beautiful here. Oh, mate, I'm fucking buzzing. I'll just read out a few comments before I get a few people in. Actually, hold on. I'll just drop in the link, and whoever wants to come in, please do pop in and have a fucking chat with me big time, because I'm buzzing here. Sorry, 1 second. There you go. It's in the chat now. Yeah, big shout out, Alec. Man, what's the story? Big up Del Boy, everyone. 1-0 to the Arsenal. It was very ugly, but we move on. Come on, you Gunners. Darren's in the gaff. What's the story, Garen? 49 undefeated. Come on. And you'd say it at the start of the season, we would be top and 4 clear of City in October. I would have said you are on crack 100%, mate. 100 fucking percent. Big time. Warren's in the... What's the story, Warren? Me too, Darren. I hope you're well. Exactly, 100% spot on, Alan. But all that matters is the 3 points. Exactly. Fuck the bleeding win. It's the likes of these places. You're going to Ellen Road. Get in, get fucking out, get your points and go home. You know what I mean? This is what it's about. And people were fucking on YouTube and everything. I'm not going to name names. And they were there giving out, easy 4-1, 4-0. Fucking, what the fuck are you smoking? Seriously. You're playing fucking Leeds in Ellen Road. It's going to be hostile. You know what I mean? It's like... You know, I don't understand where they were coming from. Did Arsenal as well? Did they sort of lack a bit of respect for Leeds? You know what I mean? Fuck me. I don't know what people were thinking. I said 2-1, maybe 3-1. I knew it was going to be tight. I thought Leeds would score and put us under pressure. But Jesus Christ, they did put us under big time pressure. Thanks, Warren. Yeah, not bad, my friend. Hope you are in good nick as well. Mane's in the chat. What's the crack, Mane? Evening, everyone. I sadly couldn't see the Arsenal game, but I just caught the Liverpool City game. Great result for us, but we need to watch our backs. Hope you all had a great weekend. Good man, Manny. Fair play to you. That match was giving me a heart attack. Exactly, Warren. I was the fucking exact same, mate. I was bleeding, bouncing up and down. I was fucking singing songs and all. I was in the sitting room. You know what I mean? And do you know what I even done? I got a brand new door for me sitting room. I was fucking hanging doors and all watching the match. That's how skilled I am. When you messing. Missed the game, seen the highlights, not sure why Bamford's goal was ruled out, to be honest. We were lucky, but I really don't care. A win is a win. Exactly, 100%. And Mane, yeah, I'm going to start getting a few boys in here now. I think I'm up to date, am I? Mane is saying, Warren Seaton makes me feel better, sir, and I'm looking forward to your new series starting tomorrow. Exactly. Check out Warren's fucking thing, and please subscribe to Warren if you're not already. Great. And I was actually watching Warren's fucking show yesterday on Saturday. Fucking brilliant. Chilling out. Had the TV on. Warren's fucking team talks on, and he's banging out the results. It's fucking great crack, I must say. Check it out every Saturday 2:30. And we got Southampton next week. Interesting, but I'm confident. I was confident today too. Yeah, but I'd be more confident with the Southampton game, Manny, to be honest with you. But still, I wouldn't take it for granted. No fucking game in the Premier League you take for granted. To be fair, Dell, it was a great save from Ederson. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The goal, a fucking great save, because I suppose that little small touch of a save made the difference. If he didn't get that, it was in, maybe hit the post, but I'd say, yeah, would have been definitely in. Gerard, Jerry, what's the crack, man? Great. That's still 14 points clear of Shitpool. Oh, stop. Hello. There's the mother in the house. I better watch me manners. How are you, ma'am? It's a hard place to go. Big win. Exactly. Right, let's go. Who's in the gaff? There's a man in the gaff. Warren, what's the bleeding story? How are you keeping, buddy? Or is he there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm really happy about the victory. 3 points in the bag. That's all that matters. Do you know what? It reminded me of years ago in '89. Right, we went. Me and a couple of my mates went up to Middlesbrough to watch Arsenal. It was the most awful bloody match imaginable, and we won it with about 5 minutes to go after Martin Hayes scored. Right, but the game, like through the whole 90 minutes, was dreadful. It was an absolute snore fest. But we won 1-0, and it was a massive win in the title success that season.
Mm,
So at the end of the day, sometimes you have to win games like that. Especially when you go away to hostile places like Leeds, and it is. Leeds
mhm.
away is a bloody nightmare. Do you know what I mean? And so fair play to the lads. They got the job done, and I'm absolutely delighted, man. Another
Yeah.
3 points and move on, and we're 4 points clear now. So it's brilliant.
Exactly. Manny, how are you, buddy? You keeping well, pal?
Yeah, all good, all good. Listen, I think I want to thank you as well for replying to my comment because I think I told you that due to the idiocy of my television service here, I couldn't see the Arsenal game. It was either Aston Villa against Chelsea or um, United against Newcastle. Neither of those games appealed to me, to be quite honest. And Warren, I want to thank you, sir, for mentioning that I didn't miss very much. It was a bit of a snore fest, as you said. But listen, I still would have wanted to see that. But I think the best game of today, I just caught that. And I think it's fair to say that, with this result, the best part is that we are now 4 points clear, but there is still some caution that has to be, applied here. These teams are now going to be set for amazing runs of form. Mark my words. With Liverpool winning, they've got some of their confidence back. They could rocket up the table. City are also going to want to take out their anger on us today. But on the plus side, we now have a sort of a blueprint of how we can try and pit Manchester City because both teams have the 4-3-3. So the question is, does Arteta switch to a 4-3-3 with Saka, Martinelli and Jesus in the line up front? Or does he still stick with the 4-2-3-1? It'll be interesting to see what he does. But for now, it's a really good, a great win from Liverpool. I'm really happy for them because it makes us happy. And as you've said, as Warren said perfectly, that Middlesbrough game, I would imagine, was back in the days when they played at Ayresome Park, long before they moved to the, I want to say, the Stadium of Light. The Riverside. And so obviously Middlesbrough back then, they were not a team to be messed with by any stretch of the imagination, but that was a team which, would also give it as good as they got. And I believe it was you, Warren, who mentioned that those teams in question, Middlesbrough and a few others, they were niggly teams and you hated playing against them. So it was good that you got to see that. And I think that was probably at the time when crowd trouble might have been at its height. Yes?
Definitely. And Middlesbrough, back then they hated Arsenal, and to be honest, I think they still do. It goes back decades. This thing that they have about Arsenal, I don't know why they do. I think Jez knows, but I don't. I had neighbours who were Middlesbrough fans, and whenever I used to ask them about it, they just wouldn't talk about it. They just said, "No, Warren, man, let's not talk about that. Let's just change the subject." Lovely, lovely people. I love them to bits, my neighbours, but they wouldn't talk to me about it. Yeah, they had jacket potatoes with razor blades in them, and they were throwing them at us.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just want to introduce Josh. How are you doing, pal? What did you make of the result today? You buzzing?
Listen, I'm happy, all right. I'm obviously not going to get carried away. Listen, today we were so shaky. We played very well. Obviously, Saka scored an amazing goal. Odegaard, that's 2 assists in 2 games now. And obviously, we took the lead, obviously. So, obviously, we won the game. Obviously, a few hairy moments. But overall, a very good win. Obviously, there was a few VAR decisions that went our way, which I'm happy about. Obviously, the red card that was meant for Gabriel shouldn't have been a red card in the first place. Bamford was the penalty, which I'm happy about. Overall, it was a good win, but we need to cut out the mistakes at the back. Honestly, every game that Arsenal play, I'm so nervous. I'm literally nervous. I'm like, oh. Obviously,
Yeah.
if we score first now, I'm like, oh my days. But obviously, to make it even more better now, Liverpool have made my day. Beating Man City, 4 points clear, but I'm not getting carried away. Our next test is against Southampton at St Mary's. Southampton are a bit up and down. Obviously, they haven't won. In the last 5-6 games. So that's another big test. Can we pass that test? Can we go what? If we beat Southampton, then we go about 7 points clear of City. So obviously, yeah, man, it's looking good, honestly. And I've got a huge smile on my face right now, but I'm trying to contain it, man. But obviously, I'm not getting carried away. We've got PSV Eindhoven in the Europa League, so let's focus on that. Hopefully, Arteta can rotate the squad, and hopefully the squad can get so the rest it needs. And then Southampton, if we win that, then who knows, man? Title contenders? Not yet, man. Not yet. Not yet. City are still, isn't for me. City are still going to win the league, man. But listen, man, we're looking good. But yeah, we're looking good.
Like I 100% agree with you, Josh. But like, I suppose, do people now? Like I've always been saying on my channel, after 10 games, it sort of takes the league sort of starts to take shape, you know. And I'm sick of fucking saying it. But come on,
Yeah.
like, do you have to show Arsenal a bit of respect now? They can only play the teams that are like, you know.
I know, I know, but I'm not gonna get carried away. You know why? Remember last season, right? Obviously, we give them the gas. Yeah, we've got to make a set or whatever. Boom, and then missed out on top 4. And then now, also big up to Luca, man, my guy. Big up to him. But yes, honestly, yeah, man, we just threw it away. But this time, that's what 10 wins from 11 games. I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy about. Let me read out our next few fixtures in the league. We have got Southampton next up. Then we have. Hang on, we've got Southampton. Then we've got Nottingham Forest at home.
Forest.
Yeah. Then we've got Chelsea away. That is going to be a hard game. Hopefully we can win that. Then we've got Wolves away, West Ham at home, Brighton away, Newcastle at home. Then obviously the North London derby again. Then we've got United again. Hopefully we can get some revenge. Then we've got Everton away. So again, the fixtures are coming fast. So obviously, I'm definitely going to get carried away. If we can beat Southampton, then we're going to be looking good. And City, on the other hand, they have got Brighton. Obviously, I assume that they're going to win that. Spurs have got Manchester United. So a draw will be huge. A draw, that will be amazing. Obviously, if we win, we'll go 6 points. If I know. Arsenal will be on 30 points. If they draw, they'll will be 6 points clear of them. In fact, no. Yes, 6 points clear. And then we can start dreaming. If Arsenal win this league title, yeah, I'm gonna be so gassed. You know why? Because I'm 19 years old and I've never seen us win a big trophy in my life. For me, it's gonna be big. I'm like, oh my god, we won a trophy. But obviously for you guys, it's like, yeah, our 4th Premier title, our 14th league title. But for me, it's gonna be huge. But I'm not gonna get carried away. I'm gonna take it game by game. And also, right now, I'm keeping my eyes on the Arsenal women. They're playing right now against Reading. It's currently 0-0. Hopefully, the Arsenal ladies can make this even more sweeter.
Make it a dream day for us. Mane, what do you make? You know, like, should people now start to sort of take notice of Arsenal and throw a bit of respect their way? Like, you know, like the way we've all been gassing up Man City, or are you like Josh, just taking one game at a time?
I'm exactly like Josh. We have to take it one game at a time. Because, listen, here's the thing. As quietly confident as I was that we would win today against Leeds, I also knew that this was the type of banana skin game that we had to be very wary of. And it's very easy to say, a win's a win. We've got the win. We can only do what we have to do and only play, whoever's in front of us. We also have to acknowledge, Dell, that we were lucky with regard to VAR calls. And even in the Liverpool game, knowing what I know now, we actually had some very good fortune with one of the goals, which for which there was an offside that wasn't actually determined by the technology. And I found out later that the technology wasn't even working from the very beginning. And that is, again, the fault of the officials and the people responsible, because it's a big game. You're playing Liverpool at the Emirates, and you can't get your technology working at the very beginning from that. I mean, where is the efficiency? It was stupid, and I think heads will have to roll. We were we benefited from that moment of good fortune, but let's not forget, just as things can go up, they can also very easily go down. And this season, we can see that with the games coming thick and fast, as Josh has said, especially after the World Cup. We're going to have them left, right, and center. If we go far in the Europa League, that's going to also affect our scheduling and scheduling in a big way. I mean, the prospect of maybe playing in the Premiership on a Tuesday or Wednesday and the Europa League on a Thursday. I mean, boy, we're going to be tested. And for that, we will need to make sure that we have some strength and depth in January. So this is going to determine what happens. So I believe Jez said it last time around. We deserve a little bit of respect because, for what it's worth, we are still the third biggest football club in the country in terms of trophies that we've won. We've just had a bit of a barren run of late, but then, Liverpool, United, Chelsea themselves have had even longer runs without winning a league title. The only problem is the way we've been the past few years, sort of hovering there and thereabouts, but not being able to quite get it over the line. People still see us as a little bit of a joke. So unless we show some signs that we are able to do that even more often, I don't think we can be truly given that respect as genuine title challengers. Because again, we haven't played City, we haven't played Chelsea, we haven't played Brighton either. And let's not forget that under Graham Potter, they had an excellent record against us at the Emirates and an excellent record against us, full stop. So we can't allow ourselves to get gassed up. We can't say, look at us, we're top of the league, 4 points clear now. Bow down to us. And I think one of the reasons why people enjoy, portraying us as a joke is because we do this every season. We gas ourselves up thinking that, it's all coming up roses. Everything's going to be in our favor. Everything's going to go our way. You better show us some respect when the season hasn't even halfway gone through. And then when we slip up, we've slipped up and fallen, people laugh at us. It just goes to show you can never count your chickens before they've hatched. So I would like to see this thing continue for the next 10 or 15 games, because if Leicester were able to keep themselves grounded during their title run win and take it a game at a time, we have no excuses. That is Leicester's pinnacle triumph. And we need to make sure that we do the same.
We know exactly what we need. Come on, man. Listen, also, quickly, man. You see when we go 1-0 up here, why are we playing 10 at the back? Like, man's playing a 5-3-2. Like, why? Why are we constantly defending? Why can't we go for a second goal and just kill off the game? Instead, we're sitting back. Obviously, today it worked. Obviously, got the 3 points. But I mean, Arsenal need to learn to just kill off the game. Obviously, cool, 1-0 up, cool. Try and get the second goal before the 60th minute mark. Try and get a second goal, because if we don't, we're going to put ourselves under more pressure, and then obviously the other team might score. And then if they score now, it's going to be long.
Thing about, Josh, the thing about it is, like, did we not give Leeds enough respect because the way they played, like, you know what I mean, and they put it to us as well. Like, when we got the goal, some things you would have thought, they'll fall to pieces now. They actually did the opposite. I thought they were attacking us. They should have scored, you know what I mean? But they didn't. So I just think maybe we didn't show them enough respect, and we should have. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I think Leeds absolutely battered us in the second half, man. They missed the penalty. They had a VAR decision not go their way. They absolutely destroyed us, man, from top to bottom. But we held on. Gabriel, this guy, I swear to God, this brother needs to sort himself out. He's too shaky at the back, man. We need an extra defender, man. He's too shaky every single time, man. This guy is just too shaky. He needs a rest. He needs a rest. Saliba, only obviously Saliba made only one mistake today. Apart from that, he wasn't that bad. But Gabriel, he just
Look,
needs to relax a bit, man.
look, come here, Warren. I'm going to bring you in on this. Like, what do you think of Gabriel? Is he tired, or like, you know, he does these fucking brain farts? Like, you know, you think he done it was at the Man City game last season where he fucking destroyed the game for us. Like, you know, is he a liability, or what do you make of him?
But before he joined us, I heard that he was a bit rash, and it's
Mm,
coming
yeah.
out now. Do you know what I mean? And I think he's a good defender, but he needs. I think he's still really young, and I think that he needs to. If he was being coached properly, I think they would be able to iron that out of his game. I mean, ideally, you'd want a player like that playing next to a more experienced centre back, so that he could like talk him through the game and stuff like that. But he hasn't got that, so it's it's a bit tricky to know what to do really, because I wouldn't want to see him leave, because
Mm.
I do think he's a good defender. But the problem is he's still very young and he's still very rash. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the thing is, when Tony Adams first came into the side, he was playing alongside David O'Leary, and he had, I think it was Viv Anderson at right back,
Yeah.
and those guys were like talking him through games, right? When he was, you know, when he first came in the team, and kept shouting clean sheet at him and stuff like that. So, but the problem is that Gabriel hasn't got the benefit of that. So, you know, it's a bit tricky. When that's why one of the reasons I was so against this Project Youth thing, because you need experienced players in the team to help bring the youngsters through. You can't
Mm.
have 11 players who are like all really, really young and inexperienced. It's just a recipe for disaster. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, what we're going to do, but they certainly need to work on this business about these mistakes he keeps making, and then being so rash all the time.
Well, even just what Fitz is saying here, like I 100% agree with this. Today highlighted how much Arsenal need a vast improvement on the bench, because as it stands, Arteta can't make substitutions to really change the game offensively. Like,
Mm.
yeah, like, you know, it's just we've, as I said, and I was on programs or YouTube channels before, and saying Arsenal have probably one of the best starting 11 in the league, one of the best. And you know, I think I'm a bit right so far. We're on top of the fucking league. You know what I mean? But it's the bench is hurting us. You know what I mean? And I think there will be games where the bench is going to hurt us big time. You know, Arteta will need to change it. Maybe the World Cup, maybe it might help us because these games are coming up. Then it's the World Cup, and then you have the January transfer window. Then, and hopefully during the World Cup, Edu's not over in Qatar, fucking on a jet ski. He's in London Colony. He's trying to picking up the phone. He's trying to get deals done and get that bench a bit stronger. You know what I mean? Because Jesus Christ, if we're in the title race this season, we are going to need every single player, bench and the starting 11, to win a league.
Yeah,
It's not just the starting
Listen,
11.
Dell, listen, bro.
exactly.
Arsenal won't win the league. That's not my main priority right now. Obviously, I would love for us to do it. I would love to come in 14 league titles, 4 Premier League. I would love for us to do it, but realistically, me personally, my thinking is, no, let's get top 4. Let's just focus on top 4. The more points we get, then we're gonna get close
No,
to the
but
target.
Mayor, I understand what you're saying, but like, why not fucking go for it now? And excuse me,
No,
court.
no, 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 no.
Go for it.
Listen, no. Listen, bro. Arsenal haven't got the squad for it. Okay, Arsenal haven't got the squad. Come on, 38-game season. If Saka gets injured, who's gonna put it on the left on the right hand side? No one. Pepe's gone. Pepe's in France. If Gabriel Jesus is injured, who's gonna play up top? And Nketiah is not as lethal as Jesus. If Martin Odegaard gets injured, where's our creativity gonna come from? Smith Rowe is injured. If Partey gets injured, our midfield is going to capitulate. If Saliba gets injured, our defense is going to be crap again. If Ramsey gets injured, Matt Turner is not going to be as good as Ramsey. We need more players in the squad. January is key. We need to sign lots of players, at least 10, if not 35. We need a big squad. We need
Well,
a big squad.
how many players do you think we need to even challenge, let's say, for the title?
20 players plus.
No, but I'm just
20.
like in the
Okay,
January.
fine. Maximum 15. 15 to at least qualify. But obviously, right now, 15. Yeah. Two right backs, two left backs, one extra centre back, one extra goalkeeper, about 5 midfielders. We need a lot more, man. We need a lot more. Listen, obviously our squad, we've got. In fact, no what? Let me scratch that. Everyone fit. So Smith Rowe fit, Zinchenko fit, Tierney fit, Tomiyasu fit. Everyone fit. Arsenal good core. But obviously we've got a lot of injuries, so it's hard. But obviously right now I'm buzzing. I'm really watching match of the day, man. Watching obviously, yeah. I'm going to be watching the United game later on as well on match of the day. But obviously, right now, I'm just keeping my eyes on the Arsenal women game. Obviously, it's still on there. But honestly, what a weekend of football, man. Tottenham did their business yesterday. Arsenal had to respond, obviously. And obviously, my eyes were on the City game. Obviously, Mo Salah and Liverpool. Thank God there is a Mo Salah when he needs one. Mo Salah is absolutely world class. And also, Haaland was non-existent today, but I don't care, man. But yes,
Yeah.
our next big test is against Southampton. If we can pass that, then Chelsea's up after. Then if we keep winning and winning, then obviously we're going to go from 27 to 30, 30 to 33, then 33 to 37, then 39, then 40, then 50 and 60.
Right, Josh, come here. I want to just give this to Mane, right? I just want to read what Anurin Jones was saying. To me, a lot of it was tactics today as well. We can't play out from the back for the life of us, so why do it? Going long has been working, so why revert back to that? Also, second half was way too cautious. What do you make of that? Making it bringing out from the back, Mane.
Yeah, it's ironic, really, because we actually shipped out Bernd Leno in favour of Ramsdale because Ramsdale was able to play from the back, although his distribution is probably a little bit more different. He sort of is able to find a person with a pinpoint, accurate pass, and that sort of works. I think what seems to be the problem right now, Dell, is that this season a lot of teams might probably have found us out in terms of our press from the back, and are probably trying to attack us at our back four. They see that Gabriel is a little bit out of form, and they probably feel as though, as great as he's playing, Saliba is a little bit inexperienced. One thing which I will say probably contributed to Arsenal struggling is Arteta's decision to play Tomiyasu today. Because as well as it worked against Liverpool, it was a horses for courses pick. And what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. You cannot play a guy like Tomiyasu, who is strong defensively, but who cannot overlap against a Leeds team who have obviously they opted for their 4-2-3-1 formation just like us. They didn't have Jack Harrison on the in the starting lineup, which is a bit of a surprise. I think Sinistera came back in. And again, I didn't see the game, so I can't really comment. I would say again, from watching the text updates on BBC Sport, that Tomiyasu had a bit of a terrible time. And that's another example of Arteta's, stubbornness and arrogance. He thinks that he's a little bit too clever at times. What worked against Liverpool wouldn't have worked against Leeds, and that's how it's proved. And of course, after Tierney came on, in place of Ben White, with Tomiyasu shifted to the right back position, I think they looked a little bit better defensively. So it just goes to show that Arteta shouldn't believe his own hype. He shouldn't think of himself as too clever, and that is a reason why his tactics might have been the reason why we weren't able to get that much going in terms of playing from the back. And then further to our defensive problems, and I'm really glad that Warren brought up the issue of experience, because I also said as a postscript to that talk after the Brentford game that when you have someone like Per Mertesacker, albeit who's working with the academy now, I think, you have someone like him who was, for what it's worth, a world-class defender in his day. Why isn't he being brought along more to have a chat with Gabriel and Saliba to talk about his experiences and watch tapes with them and see how he can work with them? It's just silly. I mean, I've heard of jobs for the boys, but why can't you get more and more people involved? Why can't you be a little bit more proactive? I mean, people spend all this much money on set piece coaches and defensive coaches. Why not at least bring in some people to have a chat with the players, watch a few games, and just pinpoint where they went wrong? It is criminal how people like Per Mertesacker and even David O'Leary himself, who is an ambassador at the club, are sitting in positions where they earn a cushy pay packet every week, but their knowledge and experience is not really being respected, and that is one of the reasons why Arsenal struggle. Because unless you have any respect for the people who have been there, worn the t-shirt, and won the trophies, and have the know-how, why should they be willing to come to you? And why should you expect to be respected as a good quality team if you aren't willing to have respect for the people who've done it before you? So there are a lot of problems in this thing, and also tactically sometimes Arteta has to realize. Josh, give me 20 seconds, and I'm going to finish, and I'll let you come back in. All right? Thank you very much indeed. So it's down to tactics. It's down to the approach of the coach itself. It's down to basically everyone involved. Some people have to be made to feel as though they have a role to play, and their contributions will be valid. And if you're not going to do that, if you're just going to waste their talents, then why should you expect to improve? Why should you expect to be taken seriously as a coaching setup and a team if you aren't willing to do what is necessary to solve those problems? Yes, we need to buy in January. As Josh said, I would like another centre-back. I do not want to have a situation where the same three centre-backs are in the squad for the Europa League games, and we play holding with Saliba or holding with Gabriel and run the risk of things going bad. I don't want that. We need to buy at least one or two centre-backs in January. We need to strengthen in January, but with what we have, we also need to pinpoint what's going wrong and get some help in as and when we need it.
Yeah, 100%. And just what you were hitting on there, Manny, and I want to bring Warren into this because I know Warren has a special, one of his favourite players we're talking about is why is he playing Tomiyasu on the left back when Kieran Tierney is available? Warren, please explain that to me.
Mate, do you know what I think it is? Honestly, what I'm starting to think it's because Unai Emery signed him. And he doesn't want any Unai Emery players in that squad, albeit he's got William Saliba in there. Right? I reckon within 2 years there'll be no Unai Emery players at that club. I think if it carries on, then don't be surprised if Kieran Tierney's at Real Madrid in come the end of January. Because I know that Carlo Ancelotti absolutely loves him. He wanted to take him when he was at Napoli, and he couldn't get him. And I know that Pep likes him as well. So mate, I just don't understand it. I do not understand why you're playing a guy who's a centre back, who's right-footed at left back, when you've got a left back sitting on the bench, and not just any left back, probably one of the top three left backs in the world at the moment. Do you know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. And people say, well, he isn't that good. Well, if Pep wants him and Carlo Ancelotti wants him, then those two coaches are probably two of the three best coaches in the world. So why would they want him if he's not that good? It just I just do not understand it. I don't, unless he's had a ruck with Arteta, because he did this with Pepe, didn't he? He kept
Yeah.
leaving him on the bench and then playing other players ahead of him who weren't as good as him, and ended up forcing him out of the club. And I think it might be because Arteta looked at his injury record and thought, I can't be having a player in this club who has got that level of injury record.
Mm.
But then Thomas Partey's injury record is worse than Kieran Tierney's. So I don't think it's that. I really don't. I just don't understand it, Del. I wish I knew because it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I'll tell you who will make sense to me. Mate Oliver. What's the bleeding story? How you keeping Oliver? And I'll tell you one thing. You've always stood there. You've always given it. And fair play to you, buddy. First of all, what did you make of the result today? And second of all, I want to ask you about the Tomiyasu in left back. Would you pick Tomiyasu or Tierney, or what's the story? How are you doing?
First of all, I'm doing well. And I think, to be fair, we got very, very lucky today. You know, Bamford could have scored twice. I think, you know, we just seem to not be able to connect things. I think Saka saved us. And I just feel like we couldn't really do much, which I think is kind of worrying because, you know, if we can't do it at Leeds, I don't think we can do it, for example, the Etihad, you know, which is very worrying. And with the Tomiyasu Tierney situation, I feel like because I think he trusts White, so I think he wants to try Tomiyasu at left back because I think he feels like Tomiyasu is better than Tierney. I think that's why he's playing him potentially, but I don't really know. But you know.
Who would you pick? Like who do you like? Do you like Tierney or Tomiyasu in that position?
Well, I think because Tierney's a left back and Tomiyasu is a right back, I'll play Tierney because that's his preferred position, and it means that he can play better there. I would think. So I think I'll prefer Tierney personally.
Yeah. Just want to read out one or two of these comments here. Whereas with Darren, I think it's because Tommy tries harder in training. That's what Arteta is observing with. Yeah, look, it may be that as well. Like I'm like Warren. I love Tierney. I love the way he plays. I love his attitude and everything about him. And I'm sure everyone does as well. Like he's one of these nice. He's like myself, you know what I mean? You have to love him. I'm only fucking messing. I'm a bollocks. No, but you know what I mean? I just think he is a good, decent player, and he tries hard as well. But Tomiyasu, that's we're not disrespecting Tomiyasu. I'm definitely not, because I love the guy as well, and he does put in a shift. In fairness, and he's the type of player I think that will play in any position the manager tells him. Not like the likes of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. No, I don't want to play in that position. I want to play in midfield. Mate, you're playing for Arsenal. Play in any fucking position the manager wants you to. We need 3 players in the January window, obviously, to maintain a title push. I go with that as well, definitely. Who's in the gaff? Prince Freud. What's the bleeding story, mate? Arsenal Tomiyasu, centre half, left back. Yeah, exactly. Kieran Tierney dropped Gabriel in end of 2-2 Bournemouth full time. Tomiyasu centre half, left. Left side, and centre half playing there as well. Bargav's in the gaff. What's the story? Hope you're keeping well, pal. Hi, Del. I am buzzing at this minute. I was gonna come on, but I am out enjoying the day thanks to Saka and Smith. Bargav, enjoy your bleeding day. Hope all the Orlando Gooners are fucking buzzing as well, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you went out to the game with them and all that stuff. Table 10 points, 13 Bournemouth. All joking aside, Trusty is doing well at Birmingham. See, he scored 2 goals, and the other day is a big unit and looks like he can look after himself. I haven't seen much of him, to be honest with you. like yeah. Look, if he's doing well in Birmingham, let's fucking get into the Premier League, do a loan move there, and see how you get on.
I
Josh,
think Birmingham have put their trusty in him.
yeah, pardon the pun, as they say. Josh, PSV during the week. How are you feeling? And what do you think he's going to? Will he put out a strong team because it's one of these games? If we win, we're in the driving seat.
Oh, guys, by the way, it's 1-0 to Arsenal. The Arsenal have actually just scored right now. I'm actually, mate, it's in the gate even better. Top of the league in both. Woo!
Yeah,
I'm saying, man. We're doing this. We're doing this.
the double.
Oh, Steven Blackstenius. Come on, Arsenal, man. But anyway, listen, man. Listen, I'm loving life. Top of the league. Arsenal have just scored. Mo Salah, the Egyptian god. Oh man, listen. If the league was stopped now, Arsenal will win it. But you know what? Yeah. But yes,
You're buzzing
PSV,
too much, mate.
but yes, PSV in a week. I think we should rotate. Gabriel Saliba should not play. Ramsdale obviously is not going to play. Obviously, me personally, this will be my lineup. I'll go Ramsdale and not Ramsdale. What am I saying Ramsdale for? No, I'll go Matt Turner and goal. I'll go for Cedric, Rob Holding, Tomiyasu at centre back, and Kieran Tierney. Midfield, I'm going to go for Sambali Konga, Fabio Vieira, and them two. And obviously the three, you've got Reece Nelson. Oh no, I've messed up. I've messed up.
Oh yeah.
I've messed up. In fact, let me change it 2 into 3. So Odegaard, Vieira, and Lukonga. Then obviously up top you've got Reece Nelson, Nketiah, and Reece Nelson and Nketiah. And I actually know, you know. Is there any other who?
Marquinhos.
Yes, Marquinhos. That's it. Yes, Marquinhos. Yes.
Hold on. Josh, I want to say this, and I want to say it to Mane, right? And I'm going to be not controversial or whatever, but it's just something I'm feeling, okay? All right, now everyone sit down and fucking relax. I'm going to say it. I'm starting to worry a tiny bit about Jesus' form. I'm just going to leave that there with you, Mane, and you take it from here.
Wait, why?
Well, I'm just asking Mane, Josh. Sorry.
Yeah. He's asking me, but you can give your opinions later. And here's the thing. I really don't think there's much to worry about because look, he had an injury precaution during the game against Liverpool. I believe he was taken off, and obviously he wasn't in the squad for the trip to the Norwegian Arctic. So it looks as though, again, just as we can't gas up the team after 10 games, we shouldn't really try to put down any players who might be having a bad patch of form after 10 games. I don't believe he's in a bad patch of form at all. I just think he's going to have some games where he tries his best, but doesn't really get into the game, maybe because some defenders have worked him out. But knowing him, I'm sure he will find a way. I think it's fair to say, Del, that the honeymoon period with regard to Jesus and a few other signings might be over. And it's going to be up to Jesus to see how he can possibly work his way back into some semblance of form and maybe get in amongst the goals. But let's not forget, he is an improvement over Alex's lack of threat. Pun definitely intended. So he either scores goals or he'll give you some assists. He will get involved in the game. And again, if I had to choose between Jesus and Nketiah, I take Jesus any day of the week and twice on a Sunday. In fact, based on Nketiah's poor performance in the Norwegian Arctic, when it comes to playing a strong team against PSV, I'd actually have Jesus ahead of Nketiah because this could be very well the type of game where he thrives. Let's not forget, mind you, that when we signed Jesus, obviously his record in the Premiership wasn't really as good as a lot of people would make it out to be. And certainly his goal-scoring record for the Seleção, the Brazilian team, wasn't much to shout about. But he was the type of player who would do well in Europe. Every season, he'd score about 4 goals or so which would mean that he had about 20 Champions League goals when he joined us. So he is that type of person who could be a big match player in continental competitions, and that suits his game a lot more. So I actually wouldn't mind starting him up front against PSV to see if he can have an effect, because PSV will have done their homework. They will probably be expecting Nketiah to start and preparing their defenders to nullify him. And of course, when it comes to Dutch defenders who play in the Eredivisie, they are quite technically solid for the most part, and they will have had a plan for Nketiah. Why not throw a spanner in their works and play Jesus up front, give him a chance to get more and more into the game, because he seems to be the type of player who lives for big European nights, and these games against PSV will decide whether we finish first in the group or second in the group. And if we finish second in the group and have to face the prospect of facing a Champions League reject or any other team, then we're going to be up the river without a paddle. So why not play Jesus against PSV, see how he does, and allow him to get back in, because he's shown that he's capable. He's shown that when he gets himself into the game, he's almost unstoppable. I wouldn't say unstoppable, but he will contribute. So why not instead give him this opportunity? I don't think it's a bad patch of form, although I didn't really get to see the game today. But I just think defenders might have started to find him out a bit, but he will find a way to sort of reimpose himself. So I'd like to see him start against PSV, and then maybe we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I don't think we should start Gabriel Jesus, because if the guy gets injured, Manny, all due respect, then we're screwed. We're screwed, because Nketiah, my bro, he's not as clinical as Jesus is. But obviously, the manager knows best. All of us are just football fans. All of us support the club. So obviously, when Arteta, I can't play a back five. Del Boy can't play a 3-4-3. Mandy can't play a. Honestly, Arteta is the manager. He's the guy that Vinay and what's his name, Eddie brought in. So in fact, no, the Cronkies brought in. So let him decide what's best for the team. Honestly, if we play a back five and we win our next 10 games, I don't care. But as long as we're doing well, then that's what that matters. But obviously, right now, let's just celebrate this win. Obviously, our attention now turns to PSV, right?
Yeah.
So after away, it was at home.
Geez, I'm not actually sure. Can anyone in the comments there just drop in and let us know? Just before
let me check. Hang on.
Just while you're doing that, Josh, I forgot to read out a comment here, and it's from Zach. Go on, Dad. Come on, the Arsenal. He started up his own YouTube channel, so please do drop a little subscribe for him, please. I beg you, right? He's doing his little Arsenal thing and sort of his views and stuff like that, and he's collecting the Premier League, the stickers and stuff like that. So he's doing all that, So I want to give him a big shout out. He's a great kid, and it was such an enjoyable time when I went over to the Emirates with him. He loves the Arsenal. He's such a big Arsenal supporter. And by the way, he found a ring at the ground as well. And he came up to me and he says, Dad, I'm after finding a ring. Let's bring it to the police or to some member of staff, so whoever lost the ring can get it back. And there was a guy standing right behind us. His name is Richard. And Richard heard me and Zach talking about this. And I think he had some sort of mark on the ring or something like that to prove that it was his ring. And Richard said, sorry, guys, I just heard that you guys said you found a ring or something like that. He says the initials or whatever it was on the inside of the ring and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, this is it. There you are, mate. And I says, Zach found it. And the guy just turned around to me and he says it was from his dad who passed away. And the ring meant the world to him. He lost it at half time and he couldn't find it. He was worrying. He was looking around the ground and stuff like that. And he gave him back, high fives and hugging and stuff like that. I just wanted to say that because that's the type of guy that, let's say, Zach is. He's real honest and he's do anything for Arsenal. So please do hit an L subscribe. And Warren, I just want to get your thoughts on this because I haven't heard it.
Also,
go ahead, real quick there. I just want to get Warren in.
All right, just quickly. Zach Football TV, I've just subscribed to you right now. I've just subscribed right now. So yeah,
Thanks a million. Thank you, Josh.
I
Thanks, mate.
subscribe too, Del.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Thanks, Manny. I've just seen. Thanks a million, guys. Warren, just as I was saying, after today's results, can we title challenge?
Right, before I say that, I want to say something about Jesus. Right, when we bought him, his goal scoring record wasn't prolific. Right, and I remember us talking about that. I think we did a show on my channel about the signings and the ones we were going for, and there was a lot of talk about what strikers we should be going for and which ones we shouldn't. He's not prolific. He's never been prolific anywhere he's played. So I don't understand why anyone would think that he's going to be prolific here. And last season, and when he was at Man City, he was surrounded by world-class players, right? And he wasn't prolific. I think he scored 14 goals in God knows how many appearances, right? So he's now playing in a team that hasn't got world class players all over the pitch. Yeah, they're good players, but they're not world class, right? So it stands to reason that he's not going to score as many goals. So for me, it's no surprise that his form, his goal scoring has dropped off. And I think it will. The thing is, if we want to win the top trophies, we need a killer up front, and he's not a killer. We haven't got a killer, and Nketiah's not going to do it. I'm sorry, he's not. I think he would struggle in the Championship, let alone playing in the Premier League. But I think we need to get a top, like, world class goal scorer. We really do. But to answer your question, can we challenge for the league? Yeah, I think we can. I think we can. But we need, in January, we need to go and strengthen this squad. We need to do something about the midfield because the midfield is not strong enough. Right? Granit Xhaka is not going to win us a league title. Yeah, he's playing well at the moment, but he's not. He there's always a chance that he's going to do something crazy and, like, cause us a problem.
Yeah.
Martin Odegaard goes missing too much for me. I've yet to see him take a game since he's been here. Take a game by the scruff of the neck and drive the team forward. Delboy, you remember back in the day how Liam Brady, for example, would grab a game by the scruff of the neck and dominate sides. I remember one game we went and played Swindon in the League Cup, and we were losing 3-1. And Liam Brady just took control of that game and brought us back to 3-3. And then some madness happened and Swindon got a winner. But this is what I mean. I haven't seen him do that since he's been here. Like, get hold of a game and control it. That Cesc Fabregas used to do that as well.
Yeah.
And I think we need to go and get. For me, I'd be looking to go and get James Maddison from Leicester because they're in trouble, mate. They really are. And I've got a question for you, actually. If Leicester sacked Brendan, right? I dare say the FAI got rid of your man in the job, the current incumbent. Would you take Brendan?
On a heartbeat. Don't need to fucking think about it. You know what I mean? And it's no offense. Stephen Kenny's a lovely fella. But nice, and he's a nice guy. Nice gets you bleeding nowhere. Being nice. Like, you know what I mean? Stephen Kenny is nice. In football, you have to be ruthless. You have to be, they say it, a bit of a dick. You know what I mean? Because you have to make hard decisions. You have to drop players. You have to, make these hard decisions. For me, 100% Brendan Rodgers. Look, it's just not working out for him at Leicester. It's not. But I'd say this time last year, I'll counteract your question, Warren. would you have taken Brendan Rodgers back then? Because, like, Arsenal was sniffing around or something at some stage, and he got a contract extension out of it. Would you have taken him this time last year?
What, Brendan
Yeah,
at Arsenal?
yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think he's a quality manager. And I tell you, it's another thing. If he came to Arsenal, Kieran Tierney would not be sitting on the bench, while a right-footed centre back was playing at left back. I used to play left back as a right footer, and I'm telling you, it's hard work because you have to constantly keep shifting yourself over when you trying to make tackles or you're trying to cross the ball. And I'll tell you something else as well. Kieran Tierney will be wearing the captain's armband, and I think because he's a leader, man.
Can I sort of say my thing on the Kieran Tierney? Like, I know, like, and this question why I asked you, because I know you loved Kieran Tierney and stuff like that, and with his Celtic roots and stuff like that, and look, whatever team he plays, I just love the fella. But I think that Arteta knows he will be, like, he'll succeed in that position, and I think it would have went. Let's say, why is he not captain? What like, if Kieran Tierney was playing solid for Arsenal in left defence, and like he did last year and stuff, that he was brilliant players and outstanding games at times, like, people would have been questioning Arteta's, why is Odegaard the captain? Kieran Tierney has won league titles. He's played Champions Leagues. He has the experience to be a captain, to be a leader. Why is he not captain? I feel sorry for him, because even in the Scotland situation, he has Robinson up against him as well. But that position, left back, I think you have to be a left footer. You know what I mean? A right back has to be a right footer. It's an area you don't mess around with, because it's an area that is so important for defending, and not only defending, attacking. Nowadays, the way they're overlapping the midfield and stuff like that, and whipping balls in, you have to have that. That's sort of my take. I think it could have been a choice that Arteta would have had to make a hard decision, and people could have got a bit upset and stuff like that. I personally think he's going to be gone in the summer. I don't want that. I want Zinchenko and him to be battling for that position. I don't think Kieran Tierney will stay around, and look, rightly so, because he's a talented footballer. Manny, would you agree, disagree with anything there? Or?
Well, as I've said, Del, I think the fact that Tomiyasu had a torrid game today is proof that while the horses for courses pick work against Liverpool, as I said, it didn't work today against Leeds United. So Tierney should be back in the starting lineup before long, and hopefully, he will start to get a few more games. But then, if he does find himself, God forbid, pushed further down the pecking order, then yes, he might decide that, enough's enough. I don't want to play for this manager anymore. Maybe it could change if Arsenal do qualify for the Champions League, because, and again, this segues back into the issue that we are going to have some games coming thick and fast. Zinchenko's obviously injured. What's the guarantee that Tomiyasu will stay fit? He could also break down. He was injured at the start of the season, remember? So, I mean, there's still a long way to go, and I love Tierney as well. I think the Scotland situation sorts itself out because Steve Clarke often prefers to play Robertson as more of a left centre-back, while Tierney sort of has the responsibility of bombing down the left. So there's not going to be that much of an issue over there. And of course, with both of them having some injury records, they both know that they will get their caps and they will contribute equally, and it's a very healthy competition there. So, like I told you, the Tomiyasu experiment, it succeeded against Liverpool. It failed today. If Arteta has any sense, he won't continue that experiment. But again, I think Warren and I can agree that sometimes when it comes to doing what's best for the team, Arteta isn't exactly what you would call the humble sort of person. And to answer your question on Brendan Rodgers, yes, I would have loved to have had him. He's turned Leicester into a more consistent team, winning the FA Cup, just missing out on Champions League qualification, reaching the semi-finals of the Conference League. He's made them consistent, but this season it's been horrible for him, and he hasn't had the support that he wanted. I was happy when he won against Forest, but obviously the Bournemouth defeat was a sickener, and today, and not getting a result against Crystal Palace didn't help his cause. It could very well be that he could be gone by January, and then he might decide to lay low. If Arteta were to leave at the end of the season, I wouldn't mind having him in. A lot of people have said, well, maybe that's Rodgers in a nutshell. He performs well for maybe 2 or 3 seasons. And I think, Warren, you'll remember, sir, he left Celtic before that season ended. I don't want to go too deep into the issues over there, but maybe that's just sort of the way Rodgers is. He doesn't perform for too many seasons. Even Klopp himself has a sort of a 7-year shelf life, as it were, as it is supposedly said.
Yeah.
So that could be something. But I wouldn't have minded Rodgers. I just think, again, if Arteta fails to achieve the targets that he has set himself, he should do the decent thing, fall on his sword and walk away, and then hopefully we get a more experienced manager who will pick players on merit, who won't treat experienced players like school children, and who will truly believe in making sure he is consistent in ensuring the disciplinary standards are met throughout the entire team, not just the youth, but the experienced players, and the consistency is applied. I just don't see that, and I think, Warren, you can agree with me on everything I've said about Arteta so far.
Manny, I know why Brendan Rodgers left Celtic. I know the real reason. All right. If you two want me to talk about it, I will. But
yeah, go on. I'm dying to know now.
Basically, he had a big ruck with the Celtic board about financial backing. Right. He wanted the board to sign this player and sign that player, and they wouldn't do it. So he felt that he couldn't really take the team forward any further than what he'd already had. So he just thought, well, I want to go somewhere where they're going to back me. Now, ironically, we've got the same situation that seemingly now at Leicester, because in his post-match press conference, he mentioned like the lack of signings during the summer and the lack of transfer business twice in that post-match press conference. So it seems to be an issue with him, and the fact that this guy that we currently got seems to get everything he wants. I think if Brendan came here, they would, and he got that level of backing, I'm sure he'd be fine. But the reason that he left Celtic wasn't because, he just fancied coming to England to go and try his luck in the Premier League. It was because Celtic wouldn't back him in the transfer market. Otherwise, he would have stayed. Because let's not forget, he's a Celtic man as well. So, yeah. So that's what happened there.
I just want to bring in. Come here, come over here. This fella's after walking in. Come up there. Have your say in the match today.
Evening, Zach. How are you, son?
Say hello.
Hi.
Hi, Zach.
Hello.
So, what did you make of the game today? 1-0 to the Arsenal against Leeds. Happy, sad, what?
Happy, great, obviously, yeah.
Oh, here, stand up. Look, he has the merch. He got the merch. Let's just say he didn't get it through the Arsenal channels or anything like that. You know what I mean? This thing fell off the back of the truck, but we leave that there.
yeah, as Mikel Arteta would say, that shirt looks good on you, son.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, first of all, what did you make of the experience in Liverpool last week?
That was great. Yeah, I loved that. I loved that game, yeah. Oh, the feeling, everybody celebrating. Oh, it's just so good.
Buzzing,
Yeah.
absolutely buzzing.
Everybody in the whole crowd was celebrating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now give a shout out to your channel before you go. Zach Football.
Zach Football TV. That's my channel name.
What are you doing on it? Arsenal stuff, Premier League.
Premier League cards and stickers, all that stuff.
Yeah, good man. Come on, the Gunners, right? Give me a high five. Right, see you later. One more, because there's another man here who's an Arsenal supporter as well, and he's upset because he's not he's never on the camera. He's a big Arsenal fan as well. This is Jake. Say hello.
Evening, Jake.
You. He'll be on Zach's channel as well. We'll do a few things on the channel as well, won't you? Yeah. Right, go on. Get in and get your bath. Get ready for
See you
Monday
later,
morning.
Jake. See you later, Jake.
Nah, I just had to get them in. They're buzzing all day, like, you know what I mean, with the Arsenal match and all. They were watching it with me, and this what it's about. Like, we're bouncing. I'm bleeding delighted. But I just want to say, Warren, on top four for now. Who's your top four? As we're talking, can Liverpool get back in?
Yeah, I think they will. Now, I want to say something about Liverpool. Right, I remember years ago in the 80s. Liverpool on New Year's Eve, they were set 12th in the first division, right? And I can't remember where we were, but I think we were obviously above them in the league. But they were set 12th, right? They come the New Year's Day, right? There was a full program of fixtures that year in the first division. They went on this ridiculous run, right? Until the end of the season and ended up winning the title. So they were sat 12th, right, on New Year's Eve. So they've got a history of like coming back. So I would not write them out of the running. So my top four at the moment, I think it will be Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and I think we might just make it.
I'm holding my breath there. Says he better fucking say Arsenal here. Manny, what do you make? Let's say we'll talk about Liverpool first, and then your top four. So, like, what's their season going like?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I think it's quite fair to say that when they lost against us, a game which they could very easily have drawn, Klopp probably used that hurt to remind the boys, look, we're up against Manchester City. This is it. It's now or never. It's now or never. Come hold me tight. You remember that? And I think I might have to make a version of that one to be more football oriented. But we'll look into it. But he motivated his boys to perform today. And I think it's quite fair to say that when their team, when they get, they're the sort of team that when everything is firing on all cylinders, when their front three is working, when their midfield is bang on, and when their defense is also, completely well tied up and not conceding too many goals, they are a match for practically everyone. And today they went back to their 4-4-3. They nullified City brilliantly. So I'm like Warren. I wouldn't be surprised if they go on a run and see themselves rocketing up the table. Will they win the league? It remains to be seen. But they could almost certainly qualify for the top four. The only problem is they're going to face a lot of opposition. And the thing about my prediction is that it keeps changing because I also have to take a look at how other teams are performing. And I also give my views on that. Obviously, I still predict City could win the league just because of the squad depth they have and the fact that we haven't played them. They're going to be more determined to turn the screw on us and really tear us to shreds. And we're going to have to make sure that our midfield and defense are up to it. They should still win. Second place could probably be Chelsea because under Graham Potter, I see them, going on some sort of a renaissance of form. Even though they've lost Reece James and one or two other players, they still have enough of squad depth to be able to cope. And of course, they're playing in the Champions League as well. They're still going to be motivated to do as well as they can. And I think Potter is also one of those coaches, Del, who is tactically spot on, plugged in, and he will certainly make sure that they get right up to speed so they could finish second. Third, as a dark horse pick, could very well be, let me say right now that Tottenham won't finish in the top four. Because I don't believe that under Conte, they are playing anywhere near the type of football that is expected of a team that is expected to challenge. They come over to the Emirates, yeah? They've got all of this talent in the midfield and up front. And the best they can do is sit back and allow us to come at them and come at them and come at them and keep pounding them. Is that really the best you could do? And they still play the same football game in and game out, and they get results. But I'm sorry, but when it comes to teams like City and the other big teams, they will get found out. So I don't think they will finish in the top 4. I think their luck will probably run out this season. So 4th place should be Arsenal. And that means that Arteta will somehow keep his job because the board will want top 4 and be happy with that. But my 3rd team, and this is a real long shot here, is Manchester United. And before you scoff at me, hear me out, please. They had a dreadful start to this season. But since then, Ten Hag has cracked the whip. He has been able to find out himself what his best combination is. Yes, they've been stuttering in Europe, don't get me wrong. Some of their performances in Europe have been diabolical. But in the Premiership, it looks as though they've turned over a bit of a new leaf. And when they beat us at Old Trafford, Ten Hag showed how he also tactically outsmarted Arteta by sucking him into playing the high line, which meant that Eriksen could have scope to do his thing. And now that Casemiro's come into the side, he and Eriksen with that double pivot, if Ten Hag wants to play that 4-2-3-1, will be more than enough to enable Anthony, Rashford, Martial, Ronaldo, Bruno to do their thing. And they're also flying under the radar, picking up results against these small bogey teams. Today, they were goalless against Newcastle, but they had more than enough chances to win the game because Newcastle looked very toothless. But again, it just goes to show you will have these types of games. It'll just motivate you to do even better for the next one. But they're consistently improving, and they are flying under the radar. And if we don't take care of ourselves, given that we're front and center with all the headlines, we could end up slipping away. We'll get into the top 4, though, don't get me wrong. But I believe that United also have the personnel and the manager to sort of just pip us to 3rd place. But we will still have a good season. I think top 4 is still in our hands. As long as we buy the players we need in January, we should be fine.
Yeah, 100. Like, another thing as well, like, I think Newcastle are going well as well. I'm not saying top 4, but I think they might squeeze into Europe, you know, be it the Conference League even or something like that. But I think they're doing really well. Like, you know, they might sign another 1 or 2 good players. That what's his Gramere? His name. Who was it?
Guimaraes.
Yeah, wow, what a player, you know. Good player. We were linked with him, we didn't get him, you know what I mean? But yeah, Newcastle are going well. I think top 4, I think City, I think we'll get 2nd. For some reason I think we will, you know what I mean? And I'm just look, we're going well, and I'm probably a bit optimistic here or whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? But I look, I'm gonna be backing them 110%, and I'm like, you know, I think, you know, if we can beat the likes of Chelsea, we'll definitely get 2nd. I think you're right in what you're saying. Chelsea and Graham Potter, I think this time next year, they'll be a really, really good side. He'll have his team in, you know what I mean? He'll have 2 transfer windows in with obviously January and the summer. He'll have a few players that he wants in. He'll have his tactics, everything drilled into the players between then and now. You know, so yeah, that's next year. But yeah, I think Chelsea are going to be up there or thereabouts, and I think Spurs are they're one of these teams that are just going to get fucking results. You know what I mean? Like they're so fucking annoying that they'll get the results. You know, and you know I don't want to fucking say more about them, but here I want to give a shout out to my man. What's the bleeding story?
Hey man. Hey, sorry. So, Del Boy, I gotta like I'm taking a lesson out of you, man. So this is gonna be a real quick video this time because quick thing. So I'm gonna get to the point and yeah. So you know, it was a stressful day. I mean that game was a lot more stressful. One of the more stressful games of the year, right? We're very lucky. We got the job done. We grinded it out. Thank you to Liverpool for beating City. And what else? Hey, it's still great to be an Arsenal fan. We're top of the league. I mean, it's a lot to do, but come on, we're still
exactly
top of the league. So
come here, just a quick one. Did you watch it with the Orlando Gunners?
Yeah, Yeah, I'm out here. Like, I mean, it's an outing.
Tell them all I said.
So we were.
I'll be over there
out,
next
like, I
year.
mean,
I'll be over there next year and I'll be interviewing a lot of them. I'll really run them up over there.
anytime you guys are over here, like, absolutely, it's gonna be a great thing. Anytime I meet you guys, like, it's gonna be great. So I just want to come here on and say that subscribe to the channel, by the way, for anybody that's new. It's a great channel. That's like post game stuff out here. So I mean, immediate reaction wise. So that's why I come on here and do it. So thank you, man. I'll definitely
Thanks a million. So, thanks a million for coming on. Take care. Tell everyone I said hello. Yeah, look, lads, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks a million for everyone to dropping by in your comments and stuff like that. And please do subscribe to Warren's Team Talks as well. Warren, do you want to give a shout out to your channel?
Yeah, thanks, Del. Thank you very much for letting me come on. Tomorrow I've got a new series starting called the Desert Island Football Matches. Right, basically, whenever I do it, I'm going to have a guest on, and they're going to talk about their 5 memorable football matches. But there's different categories. But tomorrow, Jesse's coming on. It's tomorrow night, 7:00 on my channel, so that'll be interesting. Tuesday morning, I'm going to be dropping. Finally, there were some issues today because I couldn't do it. But Tuesday morning, I'm going to be dropping the interview I did on Friday night with the Aussie Gooner. It's an absolute banger, so it's going to be worth waiting for. So yeah, I'm on Instagram as well. So yeah, there's a lot coming up in the next few weeks or so. So, and I need to talk. I'll send you a message later, Del, because there's been some developments with that little project that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. All right. So yeah, thanks very much, Del, for letting me come on, and it was great talking to you again, Manny.
Always, sir. Thank you.
And Manny, thanks a million for coming on. Really appreciate you and your support. You're a bleeding real one. Do you want to give a shout out to your channels or any channels you're going on in the future?
Yeah, listen, first of all, I mean, it goes without saying that I want to thank you for bringing me on because, I mean, you know, the fact that you still value my presence and want me to come on, even though I didn't see the Arsenal game today, it means a lot to me. I've told you, you're my first, my last, my everything. Much love to you as always. And, you know, you're the one who sort of helped me become a lot more confident enough to go on other streams and talk. And I will shout other channels and talk, and I'll shout out those channels. Obviously, S. Wheatley TV, Oris Talks Football, Coach's Corner with Hanno Trollope, Tony Claude Gunn and TV. I've been doing a lot more work with him. He's obviously got a call-in show right now, but we do a lot of work together. We challenge each other as sort of a good copper, bad copper partnership, and we come to a resolution. That's how you should debate. It's not about slanging people off.
Yeah,
getting into a slagging match or slagging anyone off. It's about speaking from the heart, saying what you believe in, and coming at each other with an approach, a respectable approach, and coming to a consensus. That's how they did it in Ireland with the Good Friday Agreement, and that's how peace is maintained. You think about what's best for everyone. I go on a lot of other channels as sort of a neutral Arsenal fan. I'm going to shout them out now. Chelsea Dan. The True Red Devils podcast. Huge shout out as well to the Bournemouth fan channel, Up the Cherries in all departments. They've got a call-in show going on right now. I've done a couple, 2 or 3 streams with them. Amazing people, amazing content, terrific interviews with some personalities from the game, including former players, former referees, and so forth. Do check them out. They deserve all the support they can get. Really good quality people, great content as well.
Send me the link for that, Manny, will you please?
Will do, mate. Will do. I'll get to that right now. And of course, on social media, you can catch me on Twitter at Thangatherai1981. Also Instagram at Manny Thangatherai1981. And yeah, listen, you will. I will certainly still in the process of starting that channel of my own, but I've got a lot of other things to do on the side as well. Once I do that, I promise all of you will know, and I will make sure that I have you all on in some capacity or another. Definitely looking forward to that. But until then, thanks a lot for everything, Del. Warren, always a pleasure, sir. To everyone in the chat and everyone watching, peace to you all. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your upcoming Monday. And I am out.
Well done, Manny. And as I said, Warren and Manny, really appreciate you coming on. I love it. Seriously, I love your opinions and everything that you have to, like, you know, break a game down and stuff like that. And I really do appreciate it. and to everyone in the chat as well. Thanks very much. I'll be dropping probably a video tomorrow as well. I'm going to do a thing with Warren. We're going to be we're doing this show about Liam Brady. So please check that out. It'll be during this week, I hope. Anyway, we'll see. I'll touch base with Warren and we'll go from there. But we'll give everyone plenty of notice, and I'll do one or two other things during the week as well. Thanks a million, everyone, for tuning in. Please do like, subscribe, share, and all that shite. So fair play. Enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless you all.